Hey, my friends, it's Sid with Squeegeology, and I've got another little episode or mini teaching on outbound marketing tips. So, when you need to hustle up some business today, this is one of the best ways you can do it. This is actually literally how we started our second business. There's a long story behind it. We started over from scratch. We started our business with $5 and a handful of we invested in flyers. But here's the deal. This is one of those methods of marketing that a lot of people are uncomfortable with, but it is probably the single most effective immediate response, direct response marketing thing you can do. It's not the most efficient, but it's the most effective. So that is scrolly, rolly, roll, drum roll, door to door canvassing. Door to door canvassing. Has anyone ever come to your house knocking on doors, going door to door? Maybe it's for a church or for religion or for selling. The old cliche is people selling vacuum cleaners door to door. And it happens. But guess what? People can make a good living selling vacuum cleaners door to door. Now, that's not my deal, but here's the thing. When we started our window cleaning company um, back in 2003, this one in our current company, I went out on a Saturday. I had $5 worth of flyers printed, and I started knocking on doors. And they were little cheap flyers. I don't even remember what they looked like. But here's what I did. I scouted neighborhoods, and I decided where I wanted to get my business. And I was looking for upper end homes, not the fanciest, nicest multi-million dollar homes, but ones that I could actually access with the limited amount of tools and things that I had. I had the skill, but I didn't have any tools. All I needed was a 24-foot ladder and a bucket, some squeegees, and I was in business. But I scouted out, and then I went out on a Saturday. And I'm going to back up just a step because this is the guy that taught me this deserves credit. I'm going to call this the Ely method. The Ely method. If you're starting from scratch, or you just want to build up your clientele right away, you need to fill a gap in the schedule for next week, use the Ely method. So Rick Ely was a friend of mine, and he was a minister in a church, and he just moved into the area, and he had window cleaning experience, so he decided to start. And this is what he would do: he'd go out on Saturdays, and he would knock on doors all day long. Saturday, knock on doors, and he'd just introduce himself and say, "Hi, my name is Rick. I clean windows. Here's my card. If you ever need this kind of service, will you please call us first?" And that was it. And then people would have a response. The response may be, "Scram, kid, get out of here," or it might be, "Yeah, thanks for the card. I'll keep it," or anything else. And if it was anything that was friendly, he would then ask them, "Would it be okay if I gave you an estimate now? There's no obligation, but then you'll know in the future when you want to have your windows cleaned how much it would cost." So his goal was not just to hand out a card, but to give people an estimate. And that's like opening the door just a crack. When you open the door just a little bit, once you open that door, let's pretend that I can draw. This door is actually open a little bit. Guess what is coming through that doorway? Light. If you open the door a crack, you can start to see the light. So he started doing this. He'd go out on Saturdays and knock on doors all day. He'd endeavor to give an estimate. And once he got an estimate, then he would ask them, how interested would you be having your windows cleaned now? Or when's the last time you had your windows cleaned? Or some sort of question that would take the next step into closing them. But here was his goal. With the Ely method, the goal really was to introduce himself to his new market. So get out the introduction. So he's passing out the cards, give estimates when possible, and then he would endeavor to convert them by scheduling them for next week. If somebody said, "Yeah, I love having windows cleaned. When can you do them?" They go, "Oh, the earliest I get to it is late next week." It was always next week. And he would start by putting in scheduling and work on Friday, and then work back to Thursday, and then work back to Wednesday, and work back to Tuesday, and then work back to Monday. So he would try to get a whole week scheduled on a Saturday. And when he shared that with me, it's really cool. This was 20 years ago. He was scheduling, $1,200, $1,400 a week of work for the following week. And that's how he got things started off. And that's how we started our business here in Missoula. That first, Saturday, I went out and knocked on doors, and I scheduled 2 houses for the next Monday. And, you know, the cool thing about that is I sold them before I actually had the equipment to do the work. Scheduled for next Monday. So Monday morning, you know, at my appointment's at 9, so 8 o'clock, I'm headed to the hardware store to pick up a ladder. So I bought a 24-foot ladder, then I drove up and did the job, and I got paid, I think it was $240 or something like that, maybe $210. And then I went straight to the bank because we were broke. Isn't that cool? Went to the bank, the Bard. God, I can't write. I love you guys. Went to the bank, put the money in the bank, and then went and did my next house at 1 o'clock. And I went straight to the bank after that one, and then I deposited the money. There's a bigger story here. I'll tell it somewhere else. You can find it on our Facebook page. And I deposited, and then I went to the grocery store, and I bought several bags of groceries. Brought them home to my wife and 3 beautiful boys. I told my wife it's going to be okay because we got money coming in. And that's the most immediate way that I know of to go out and get business today. You know, some people are offended if you knock on their door, and some people are not. Depending on where you live, the neighborhood you're going to, some people are really friendly. A lot of people that are successful, they built their business. They had to hustle. They had to hustle to build their business, so they're not offended by somebody getting out there and putting in the hustle. Matter of fact, a lot of times they admire it when somebody's out there hustling for work. You want to be kind. You want to look sharp. Okay? Here, let's just write that down. These are the rules. Be kind. Dress sharp. Even if you don't have a company logo or anything, put on a nice pullover shirt and a pressed pair of khaki slacks. Not dress pants, but just khakis. And then, you know, be professional. Have some cards if you've got them. If not, just print up some decent-looking flyers on color paper and go out there and start knocking and start promoting yourself. Let people know that you're out there. Let people know that you can solve a need that they have, and that need is dirty windows. They can't clean themselves. So go get busy. I'm Sid with Squeegeology. I really appreciate you. One thing that I would love for you to do is to go to our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/squeegeology and become an insider. All you have to do is like our page and then click follow, and you'll get notifications and updates, and you'll know what we're up to, the things that we're teaching, and how we're helping people in the window cleaning and service business industries to increase your business. My whole deal is to help you market your business better so you've got more business than you can handle, so you're happy with your business and you're making a big profit and not just struggling. Okay, that's it for today. I'll catch you next time.